Now, all the A players need to do is stay alive, and it needs to be this third rotate. fnatic are playing very slow here, and Ence are walking and setting this trap.
Yeah, they've got SDY back into the bomb site, and they should be able to get ahead of this camera smoke as well. So, Ence, their util has been somewhat negated. They have got the molly there to make sure no one can stay on the angle as they do emerge. So, fnatic have been able to get full control. Crims has been able to tuck himself in the corner and activate that C4. It's going to have to be a retake with all 10 players left alive. Nachu draws blood, but there's more where that came from.
Got to hold A main. It's the key linchpin here. It's this key fight a little bit later, but you are losing players on the site. Nachu finds another one. Crims is now tucked in towards the fishtail and is just stuck. And Fear loses his life at B main, which means Jambo is now going to be pincered in. What a play from Ence, because they read everything. They get ahead of the play by 3 players pushing in towards main. We can start to see what the game plan will be for Fear and his friends. A dry fight, apparently, and it works well for Jambo. This is really nice, and again, this is a good mid-round call out of Fear. He's recognized that Ence are rotating quite quickly, so he says, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll pull the rotates over to A, and hopefully that's an opportunity for Blame to find something in B, in mid. Sorry, instead it's the B players that walk over to mid to plug the gap. So it's a calculated risk from Ence. Matties will get that trade. So player advantage still with fnatic, but with him and Jambo low, and with no real space on a bomb site, this is going to be quite difficult to go into. What is the call out of Fear? Which bomb site feels more vulnerable? It feels like it's B. He is currently correct. Only Glaive here.
Yeah, and maybe not even for much longer. Ence may feel compelled to go for some sort of a gamble because of the fact that they're down by a man right now. And Glaive is worried that because of the presence shown in middle earlier, perhaps fnatic have committed somebody through Temple. Glaive's now going to commit to the bomb site, though, but Matisse, well, the info was fed through to him that he was towards the platform, and he gets the kill through the smoke, and with that goes any further threats in the round. fnatic on the board.
fnatic haven't really got any map control, so just execing A. There are 3 players here for Ence. This is going to go poorly, you'd assume.
Yeah, you would imagine as much. Ence are very well poised to deal with what's coming their way. Kaspersky playing anti-flash will go down, but Nachu is made up for it with the double. Man advantage will persist as a result. Matties, does he have to continue to force the issue? He probably does to a degree because they're down 3v2 and they have no decent positions to work with in the post plants either. So at least he's been able to close the gap into Castle, but it was 50-50 the entire time. Poddy plays the smoke fade. That means he's going to get the kill onto Fear for free, and Ence are back to winning ways. Opening a couple rounds ago didn't work out for him, but he's managed to make it work this time round. First kill on the board. Kaspersky's also definitely been given more of a license here on the CT side, but maybe takes too many liberties as he tries to go back into B main. That's going to cost him his life. Good work there from Jambo, just posted on the angle. And SDY, as a result, will try and find something towards bridge, and now he's regained that man advantage. It's something we'll see from SDY. He likes to be active in middle, excuse me. And he does well, but now there's an emphasis in towards E-Box. Glaive out in the open, good for a first. Matty's trades, but there's more where that came from. And that more will stand tall.
It just feels a bit flat from fnatic, I'm going to be honest. I think Ence are always in control when they're going for these fights, and that's why it's been a really good success story. Good reposition here as well out of Poddy. Moves over to jail. Jambo's obviously going to be looking and clearing all these angles. I don't think he's going to clear close left. And if he does, then rounds on. But he has to glance at mid. 35 seconds. Does he even want to give the idea of having this round a go? He will. So now the question remains. The original one. Will he clear hard left? Gives it a look. No, he doesn't. So Poddy has just won that round simply by outmaneuvering his opponent.
It's just pressure for now, no commitments.
Oh, Blame's got to be the linchpin here. Blame's got to actually find something in middle this time. Yet to frag. And here's this walkout. Where's Kaspersky? That should confirm to Blame that there's going to be, what, max 1 temple? But there shouldn't be anyone here. And again, the A players, they're rotating off the site, in theory, to fight for middle. So no one's looking at A main now. You got this up-down approach. This is really good from Ence. And it feels like fnatic are just really sluggish and they're not prepared for this. They might be prepared for the first, but I doubt they're prepared for the second. Although that crossfire has just broken. So it's Kaspersky completely alone. Jambo walked into his crosshair, but hits the headshot and the follow-up onto Nachu. That completely collapsed. That looked like such a good situation, and Jambo's unraveled it.
And Ence aren't even entirely sure if it's actually going to be a push into the A bomb site from there. They're still feeling up B. They're still shift walking away. Fnatic have taken a little bit longer to actually get the bomb down here, so at least Ence have had some time to get in position to have this retake a look in, but a lot of damage has been done. All three of the players left alive for Fnatic have been chipped. Oh, Glaive. Going to be compromising his position a little bit. Not that it's going to be much of a surprise for Fnatic that there are players coming through cameras right now. Glaive has the info on one, but Fear has the head of his counterpart. And surely, I mean, that might just be enough here to lock in the round. Ence are still trying to find a way back in. It's a labored kill for SDY. He's taking so much damage in the process as well. And Fnatic are not giving anything away here. And that means Ence are going to be forced off.
With his lurk, actually gave the round win to Fnatic. So that's a second one back. Let's see if they can win rounds in succession, because it's been really tricky. Great flash by Glaive. A self one to put himself on the angle. But he can't convert the kill.
Good counter. Util, though, just to try and lock Fnatic out of the site. Kaspersky straight through said smoke grenade.
They're just going to take space through water. So SDY has got to be really aware that this play can come in from B main. Great shot out of Fear, but you might be ready for one player, but maybe not the second. Now you're aware of him. Good trades out of Fnatic. 2 versus 2. Bomb down. Round still on.
Yeah, very much so. Round very alive for Fnatic right now.
Don't swing him.
How far does he go? He didn't have to. That's brave there from Crims on the jiggle. He will bait out the shot and secure the information. Nachu is hoping that as a result, somebody might try and reposition. It's going to be Crims to force the fight this time round, and Poddy, caught juggling between his gun and his utility, will go down. Nachu doesn't have a kit here, so this one should be next to impossible for him. Is he going to hard clear the entire way through? He does, but notice how Blame doesn't just sit idly in the corner. He's also just actively stepping in and out, makes him a very hard target.
Economy on last legs now for Ence. A really important moment for Fnatic. If they can win this round, they will equalize the game. They will walk away with this first half with something, but it's still Ence being active. It's an up-down approach this time in B main. Fear walks straight into it.
We have seen Ence find opening kills in both of the past rounds, though, and not go on to actually win the round. So, not like it's round over by any stretch for Fnatic, who have done very well in these 5v4s. This time it's going to be a 5v3, though. And, I mean, Ence have kind of decided that, all right, we've been getting opening kills, but that hasn't been enough to actually win the round, so maybe we need more. And that's why SDY has played for more, and he has gotten more, but good combo of util and pressure there from Blame F means that they do cancel out SDY's kill, reduce the gap to just one player. Look
at these reads that Ence have. And it comes down to the protocols that they're adopting on CT Anubis. But it's like, okay, well, we're just going to group up. We're going to push A main. We're going to completely leave mid. We're going to call the bluff that you're not going to pressure in towards that area of the map. Matisse dodges the flash. We'll get the trade on Nachu. Knows that one more is close and wants to isolate him. That's everything. But as Blame F walks middle, there's a timing because Kaspersky is right behind him. And Glaive's moved in towards middle as well.
Oh, talk about timings, man.
Oh,
Glaive's going to
no
go back.
way.
Blame F is there. And Kaspersky, oh no, had his opportunity, but now he's given the game away. Blame F has the information. He's going to hang around here as well. Just posted on the angle. Kaspersky panic jumps. Fnatic are fighting back, Brandon. I mean, Ence were in complete control at 5-1. And Ence are saying, no, sir, we're not going to be offering up any fights early on here. Going to be looking to retake some control. Nice little snapshot there from Jambo. SDY hard clearing out the corner, expecting that if there was anybody there and they were blinded, they would have been tucked into the corner. So he just fully commits all in. Good first frag found here for Fnatic. Where do they go from here is the question. Jambo is searching. Now, this could be a problem. Nachu is hard tucked in behind the pillar, and he's got support on that A-bomb side as well. So it's still pretty well padded up on the side of the map, and Fnatic may not anticipate that. Here comes the flash, the swing, and the multi.
And the bomb given on a silver platter to Nachu. Look at Matisse. Matisse has just swung to get the bomb and has moved out. Are you joking me? Nachu never re-peaks. So the bomb retrieval was a success story. You got this lurk in Blame, but Poddy is holding for it. Will Blame activate now? Yes, he will, but straight into that sniper scope. At least there's a little bit of space. There's a little bit of time for the bomb to be planted. And with Fear removing the Temple player, the immediate threat, even though they're low, this round still has got legs to it. Never mind, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, there was maybe a brief moment between Matisse and Fear where it looked like they could try and get something done, but this should be now impossible for Fear. I mean, he's going to have Glaive coming through on this massive flank. Fear's going to have to get that instant one-tap. He's looking to try and reposition, and I mean, he's just a dead man here. Surely a matter of time. Poddy and closing on his position, and he will be the one to finish off the job. So at least Ence do get a 6th, and it's kind of weird saying at least a 6th round for a team on the CT side of Anubis. It's more just because of the strong start that they had, but you've got to take that as Ence, right? You really do. Could be the reason. Anyway, we flipped the script here. Fnatic talking about aggression, going to be looking to make moves here, immediately fighting into B main. Kaspersky shuts down Crimsy's Dink Jambo as well. That's going to send him packing. This is the perfect start to the pistol round here for Ence. Opening kills certainly not been hard to come by.
Oh, and now Blame knows they're just going to burst through the smoke. Potentially or no, they don't. They don't allow Matiz to be set up in his position. They get the utility out and they just leave. And now Jambo, he's really not got much to lose. He's just got to peek into them and go, oh, guys, yeah, there's definitely B. Let's Kaspersky finds another one. So in essence, that's all 3 of his kills.
Well, this is a bit of a statement here from Ence. Not really opening up with any clear direction. Just making sure that they deprive the CTs of control and information. They punish anything that comes their way. And that's going to be Ence regaining the lead here.
It's funny because in essence, Ence ran exactly the same pistol as Fnatic did. The only difference is they had someone holding for the B lurk and the B swing. It's actually becoming a lot more common nowadays. Oh my god, he's insane. It's becoming a lot more common nowadays for people to actually just go and swing B main. So for Fnatic, it's got to be a really big team effort, and it's got to come now because we've already seen the structure out of Ence, and it's going to be a double swing in towards Con. And it's actually so mirrored and wild how much this is taking shape. Shadow spotted for Crims. He gets rid of Nature, but it was ex-Kaspersky that swung on the first gun round for Ence and was punished by Jambo. This time it's Fear that swings for Fnatic, but not punished in the waters.
In fact, Matty's probably going to be joining up in that direction soon enough as well. Still a chance though for Ence as the util rains on in. Can they find a successful opening kill here? Fnatic know exactly what's going on. 4 of their 5 players are here right now. This should be impenetrable. But the util's given them a way to move their way forward at least and try and close the gap. But as soon as the fight starts to come through, they've just won by Ence.
Oh, last couple of kills at the end for Kaspersky, but it's all inconsequential. Now they just drop a lurk smoke to make things annoying for Fnatic. Triple push in towards water. You got to let the pistols go first. It's SDY just on the off angle. Fear does get 2, but he will be traded by Nature, so you feel like it's potentially okay. However, Crims and Blame still have rifles. The bomb's not committed. Blame's now going back to clear all of B, but here's the mistake that's going to be made by Crims. Nature's holding the entire time. And now you can just go away.
They're going to use one player to just try and figure out where Blame F is right now. And I don't think this corner is ever going to be cleared. Kaspersky is the one who commits, and there we go. He dies. Blame F should realize, though, that, okay, they now know I'm B. They're probably just going to try and motor into this A site. But he is...
Whoa, hang on. He's read it.
Thinking, oh, you're right. He has read it. He's still here. B main. He's perfectly positioned. Ence are never going to expect this. Oh my goodness, they've completely outthought themselves right now. There's no time for Glaive to get back to the safe bomb site. He may not even be able to successfully get across. Very good util usage from Blame F. The bomb's now been picked up. Glaive can't even plant. Eventually, he will get around the corner of the bomb site and activate the C4, but Blame F has him exactly where he wants him.
It's still going to be tough, though, because now Blame not presenting himself, you got to think if you're Glaive, has he just run all the way around in towards middle? That can't be going through his mind right now. He has to just zone in and try and lock off Blame. Time ticking and kill collected by Glaive. That was a very scary moment for Ence. Nearly stolen away by Blame F and Fnatic. Oh, it was basically true. And Fnatic get aggro. And SDY is holding for this exact pixel. Ready? Oh
no, he gets baited. He gets baited because his teammates have gotten kills. So he's thinking, all right, well, I better just step out. And all of a sudden, the crunch into canals, well, it's delayed success, but it's success nonetheless.
No way. And now, look, at least ex-Kaspersky's been giving you a bomb site. That's nice. Now, Glaive can plant for him. That's also quite nice. There's no defuse kit on Fnatic, but there is personnel. But how far does ex-Kaspersky look to move? Because Blame is in middle. He's about to have this fight, and then you got 2 players. Look at this angle. There's no way. There should be no way. Yeah, that Blame gets by that, and then Glaive can just sit in this corner. Bomb's not planted for him in this corner, so I don't think you're ever clearing it. There's no shot you
Doesn't
clear
look
in
like
it.
Here
Okay.
we go. Oh, they do. They both jump up in that direction, and now they know for a fact where Kaspersky was. He's repositioned to CT. There's no kit. Bomb's not planted for him. He's killed the player in the smoke. He doesn't realize that's not actually the player who's sticking the defuse. He goes for the knife. Is he going to get there in time? Fear has full health, enough to survive a couple of stabs. The Glock in the smoke will eventually finish it off. That's actually super accurate from Kaspersky. He has had a torrid time of it so far.
Yeah.
4 and 14.
Yeah, he's
Needs
struggling.
more from him. I know we don't look at Crims as the fragger in this team, but he needs 2 frag. Either way, look at this. Kaspersky with the Mac 10. He's in the bridge smoke. There's 2 CTs there as well. Blame is dead. There should be another, though. Where is Kaspersky? He's gone back through the smoke on the other side. In the meantime, Ence have all the pressure in the world on this B bomb side. How are they keeping their composure with so much going on?
It's done. It's so over. I mean, what on earth was that from Kaspersky? He runs through the smoke, he runs back again, he calls for Podi's support, and they get rid of Jambo. Maybe he bumped into one of them. Fear at least pushes forward. Oh my gosh, and he gets SDY. Is there any semblance to this round? Maybe not, because look at Glaive. Glaive's pushed all through A, and he's also got CT, and Kaspersky is looking to lock this one in. Crims has jumped, and it's Kaspersky to lock things in. Ence take their map in dramatic, but also kind of emphatic fashion.
Be the composed, experienced player, the rock-solid guy that they can rely on, but he still has to get kills.
Here we go. Look at this. Just double setup, upper Brown Hall's push. That was a little bit of an egregious error from Nature because he just goes immediately. He has baited Poddy in. Never mind. He hasn't. Blame's ready for him. Matties has just destroyed everyone else on the bomb site. See you later, Ence. That was a fun pistol. It lasted 10 seconds.
Yeah, there was a plan. There was a plan. Nature swing. Maybe he gets a pick. He gets traded. Then they never expect Poddy there. But good awareness there from Blame F with the P250. Ideal start for Ence. It's exactly what they needed. Just not even getting a single kill.
Just losing, yeah.
Straight up. Hate watching. Look
Flames
at
out.
Guess who? Guess who? But he is in the thick of things. How is he still alive? He's been exposed to 3 different players. He is still kicking. And
come on!
He's even going to be able to get out with his life intact and a kill.
Nature. Oh my god, that second shot on Crims was disgusting. And he's dropped the bomb, and he's now got all the rotates. Hang on a second, this is a disaster for Fnatic.
Well, if only they had actually been able to get that kill on Blame F, then it would be a 4 versus 2. I mean, he's barely alive, but he is still alive, and he's getting information. He's getting space through Ivy right now.
They've got the
You're
bomb
right,
on
the
B,
big
it doesn't
problem is the
matter.
bomb. Yeah, I know, but, I mean, it's still, you know, something that they can try and use to piece this picture
Look at
together.
Poddy. The Poddy's holding for this. There's no way. Blame,
Okay.
you're never clearing this. See you later. 4v2 now. You still don't have the bomb. You just spotted a player out upper, and you're aware of the fact that Jambo could be coming through connector. This is the pinch that could define everything. The bomb is still not in Fnatic's possession. Jambo would need to push through this smoke. Fear would need to push through his. The only way Fnatic win this is if Ence give them opportunities to have one-on-one fights.
I mean, they may be able to isolate these duels just because of the way that Ence are set up right now. They don't have 2 players stacked up on top of each other. So with the right angle and the right timing, you might have a 1v1, but there's just not much time left here for them to work with another smoke. Fear, he can't afford to respect that. Low health for Nature means that the kill is very gettable right now, but he doesn't realize Nature's actually on the side. 14 seconds, SDY gets 1. It's just Jambo left, only 6 health for him. This is impossible. Just by virtue of the time left on the clock, Poddy will finish off the job, and Ence have won a 4-spy.
It's exceptional. What a great round to win, because now that's sort of put a dampener on things for Fnatic. They just sprint into Pop, which means they sprint into Poddy and Glaive. Now, whilst it's Poddy up top, it's Glaive down low. He's lost his life, and now Poddy's lost his.
No.
Why? Yeah, that feels really unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary. Had more than enough opportunities to get out of there. Nature, they're right behind you. He's relying so heavily on SDY, and then he'll swing afterwards. Nature has been the madman in these past few rounds, but it's all now down to Fear in the 1 versus 2. Can't catch SDY. In fact, SDY's done so much damage to Fear on the fadeaway. SDY is actually the hero of this round because he's the one who's rotated back into this B bomb site and actually still given Ence a chance. Kept them in the round. Kaspersky now closing the gap with this flank. SDY not giving away anything. Eventually will have the fight forced upon him. Bomb is still heaven, and Kaspersky's going to find himself positioned right on top of it. MP9 against an M4. Certainly advantage Kaspersky, but not unwinnable.
It all depends if Fear can scale the ladder without him noticing. Oh my gosh. They both creep out just for a second. Kaspersky just weasels his way back in towards upper brown halls. So does Fear. Fear's now coming from lower. All these angles that need to be checked. And Kaspersky will get on the angle in time. Crisis averted, but...
Yeah, SDY trying to fight for Ivy very early on here. Super aggressive from him. So much time here for Fnatic to try and use this man advantage as well. Poddy, in the meantime, is going to go searching, and he's going to find Crims, but that's going to cost him his life. There are still two players here. Kaspersky and Glaive, they have to multi between them. Kaspersky's found two. He's now been traded. It's Glaive's turn. Where is Glaive? Now he'll activate. Can he multi? Can he also get the second? No. That was completely necessary for him. Nachu left alone. Jambo with a very nice step out there. Gives himself the advantage in the fight.
You feel like Glaive should have had Blame F dead to rights. He also dropped the bomb in Ivy. He gets the kill on Blame. He probably wins the round. Instead, it goes the other way. And now this is really aggressive, but the counter flashbang is amazing out of Jambo. Between him and Crims, they make it work. And you feel like Fnatic have just won the round in its entirety. Yeah, Glaive cannot do anything.
Yeah, it's no surprise that they're using such good counter-util there at the start of the round, because I feel like Ence have gone for that opening in every single round so far. They haven't always committed to actually taking the space, but they've almost always had somebody just running up ramp early to dump a nade or dump some utility. And so Fnatic just cancel it out, completely overwhelm everything that Ence sends in that direction. SDY, not going to be long for this world either. And Jambo, well, he's picked up here on train where he left off on this map yesterday.
You got to go back to what worked on Anubis, and that was mid-round time in your aggression, or at least doing it in pairs. It feels like there's been a lot of individual fights here so far for Ence. They're going back to A main, counter utility yet again from Fnatic. You feel like it's very good, but here's that pack mentality. Kaspersky low, and SDY will at least trade on Matties. And you still got Jambo, who's on 10 HP. Fnatic want to take the space. They want to catch out these players. And you've now seen trajectories of 2 smoke grenades. That means that you know one's over at Hell, one's over at Con. Maybe Glaive even boosts up Nachu over the top, and SDY steps in the shadow of his former teammate. This feels unlosable.
Yeah, I mean, surely with the positions that they have to work with, the information, and the health advantage as well. They've got so much going for them right now. Nice smoke there. Obfuscates the vision. Glaive, is he going to try and go through this connector smoke? This is a gamble. This is a risk that could work out against him, that could let Fnatic back in the round. He will kill the planter, but not before the bomb's actually activated. SDY is now going to be forced out of this position, but he does best his opponent. It's only Fear left remaining, and he's going to snake his way through the smoke grenade. I mean, Ence, they'll be able to kind of piece this together, because Fear was the one who got the trade earlier. He's got a nice angle, but he can't hit the instant headshot. The problem is there's no catch-up for the CT sides. They're going to need that full 10-second defuse. Fear's just hoping he can find some sort of a tight angle there to deny that defuse, but it's not going to happen. And he will at least be able to stay alive at the bare minimum, but Ence have won a round back here.
Here's this mid-round aggression that we were sort of calling upon. It looks like the MP9 is going to push with Nachu. That means they're going to have really good time in here. B halls unoccupied. Pop play, going to be pretty sufficient. The swing is good damage by SDY. And now this swing comes in from Pop, and there's the trades. Kaspersky mollied, but not affected. Matty's got to be ready, but Poddy again steps in. It feels like whenever you kill a player, you got to check another corner, because there's another one round there for Ence.
Actually take that, once he sees 3 players Ivy, they take that space Pop, right? And then they get those 2 kills, which basically wins the round.
Oh, Matty's is ahead of this molly. And he does punish SDY. Meanwhile, there's a trade over at A main, and Kaspersky's just going to take the space. Glaive needed that kill at Pop just to cut the map in half, in essence. Oh, you needed not to lose your players at A main and Pop, unfortunately. And Poddy is just staying in spawn. He's now going to double up. Again, it's this mid-round aggression. It's the swing, and it's the collection from Nachu and Poddy. Jambo's left all alone. It's a great first shot. And they won't re-swing him. They'll give him the respect. They'll give him the grace. And they also don't need to fight him.
Exactly. Make him come to you. Bomb's been dropped just out of CT spawn there as well. So Jambo's probably just thinking about saving his AWP here. Makes sense with the residual money that he has in the bank. Kaspersky, this is just such a fiendish angle right now. And there we go. Crosshair perfectly placed. Will take the head. Well, they're going back again. They're going back to Ivy again. I thought this was going to be the fast-paced round and towards the A bomb side. Blame F lurks through a smoke. No ways. Should never have been able to get that kill. SDY completely blinded. He was blinded for an eternity there. Smoke phase. Blame F gets another victim. It's now a pop flash here through the smoke. Oh my goodness, the util has been brilliant here for Fnatic, certainly a defining factor in their success, but BlameF should never have even gotten a kill in this round, and that could have completely changed the complexion of how the entire round unfolds thereafter.
Agreed. But what I will say is, really cool pathing by him to go from reds to then pop, and then he's technically that pop player.
Mate, you're playing with fire, Crimsy.
He's alright, he's all the way back now. Don't bully him.
Okay, alright. No, fair enough. Jambo, on the other hand, he is dead, but that's okay, because his captain has cancelled it out. And it looks like eventually Ence are going to end up on the speed bomb site. There's been a lot of rotations back and forth here from Fnatic so far, but they will now find themselves rooted on the speed site. Very good kill at range from Kaspersky. He seems to be a devil with that Glock. We see a lot of Glock kills out of that man. And look at how deep Nature and Glaive are right now. They're taking the fight to the CTs.
Oh no. Blame really wanted to get that kill and he missed one bullet and instantly two Ence players just swing. Another one of these rounds in which Ence always feel like they're in control, and they've got to talk about the scale in there. Those two players scaling deep, getting towards the connector, but never directly fighting it. Nature swinging. I don't think Nature will be ready for this.
Here we
go. He did. He cleared it. Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent clear. But look at all the damage being mounted up. Jambo, now no armor, but at least the 5.7s can potentially be softening things up.
Wow.
No, SDY has just deleted them. And he's trying to create a pathway, but look at Blame at back bomb site. This needs to be cleared. You can't plant for Blame, but he now announces his arrival. SDY trying to go up and over. Crim's trying to chase down from Pop, but it's Blame all the way at the back of the site. Poddy picks up one. And Crims is still low. A fake out on the bomb. He wants to commit to the fight, and Crims doesn't buy it. Poddy locks it in. Ends with just 3 seconds left to scoop the round.
And Fnatic, they're going to follow that up with another force by Brandon. They're chasing the dragon. They're chasing the dragon.
Yeah, I felt like this was coming on the first half, but it didn't. Look at this setup. Can you see them close to the incendiary? Not quite. So Nature hits the deck. It's 3 players that started on B for Fnatic. It's Matty's just on his own. And he makes a meal of it.
And Kaspersky's like, I am getting the hell out of there off the back of that, guys. I've taken so much damage. And his teammates will follow suit. In the meantime, though, Glaive is taking space. That smoke will soon fade, and that's going to leave him out in the open. And it's not like his teammates are getting a huge amount done in the meantime. Crims is, though.
Crims is, but how far does he go? Because he's currently cleared towards B halls. If he goes up around the corner, he certainly should have the jump on Kaspersky and Poddy. He gets the second there, and he keeps on pushing. Look, he won't be ready for the third player. SDY burns. Never mind, that's an audio cue given over, and Crims will pop flash just straight into SDY and swing before the flash. You can teach an old dog new tricks. But why bother? Because Crims is lights out. Glaive finally removes him, and Fear is low too.
Yeah, he's just going to have to knife out run, and unfortunately, BlameF is in a very good position here. Can't step out and get the kill instantly, but Glaive will now expose himself as he looks to try and find a favorable position to plant the bomb, and Fnatic have indeed won that force buy.
They lose this one, they're in real hot water. They lose this one, it is basically series over. Oh my gosh, SDY will at least get one, and then traded.
Now, where's the smoke grenade? Kaspersky has one. Surely he's not going to go dry. It looks like they're taking contact out of heaven. Kaspersky will now drop his smoke. Nade to break it open will not actually be effective. It goes too deep. You need to be careful against these deagles at range. Poddy, well, it's not a 1 deag, but effectively it is. And that's going to guarantee them a bomb plant at the bare minimum.
They've also got man advantage. Look, they are low, and they are now being trapped on the site, and they've got nowhere to go. But maybe they can fight their way out this corner. Nature and Kaspersky have just won the entire round for Ence. In a blink of an eye, all of Fnatic swing, and they get decimated by a Galil and a Deeg.
And that sends Fnatic into force buy territory. Lose this game over.
They're on double eco again. And they're just being run down. SDY has had enough. Matty's in the back lines. He's really been struggling outside. He's really been struggling in towards the yard. Finally gets taken down. And now Fear can hear this reload. He knows he's got Nature locked in. But look at Poddy. Poddy's just right behind them. They've got no idea he's run out of ammo. This is a complete mess, and yet it still works out anyway. Blame is even being held for in a main. Now they absolutely have no money. Now they need to save, and they're going to concede series point. To be honest, Matties has just been abused outside. Look at this timing in Rev Room. I'm sorry, not in the Rev Room, in the red smoke. Nachu also gets rid of Jambo. So never mind, your talisman's dead. At least Matties and Crims have answered back, but look at the Ivy scaling. It's really quick. Blame needs to get ahead of this, and he does. Maybe there is still fight in fnatic. 4v2, Poddy's 1 HP.
Yeah, should be no way back into the round here for Ence to try and deal that killing blow to fnatic with a bit of an aggressive approach. And
oops,
that is an interesting smoke grenade. Probably not what it was intended for. Gives a little bit of space here for the T side to work with, you know. Molly is going to force Matties forward, but the aim is just off, man. I mean, the aim for a lot of the Ence players in this round just didn't look great. So that's the first of 6 rounds required for fnatic to fight back and force this into overtime.
Does the copium?
Okay, yeah, I'm probably not going to co-sign that one, but I can see your vision. Okay, Jambo, there we go. First time he has the AWP, immediately finds impact. fnatic certainly haven't gone into a shell off the back of them being on the brink here either.
ex-Aurora is still finding all of this control out through red. He's being such a deviant over at yards, just consistently pushing this smoke, going in towards hell, getting the kill Ivy, and it's a really good reaction. He's also just got rid of Jambo. That's your AWPer. Crims has just been mollied at backside. Hang on a second. This could be a disaster, but Crims, never mind. He's in control. Jambo's walked through the upper B hall smoke and has now just claimed all of B for himself. Matties? Oh my god, no way. Matties should be getting this trade, and he does. Oh, Crims has found ex-Aurora, so that was the other player in towards A main. Here goes Pody, but the time's already gone here, Ence. You were so slow at pushing the Ivy control because you were smoked off that the A main players felt like they had to go.
This just smacks of overtime. This looks like one of those comebacks where the team are locked in right now, and they're not playing like they're on the brink of losing the series. They're still playing their brand of Counter-Strike. Pody does get a kill back, though. That's a really important frag to be found.
Oh, this indicates to me that SDY is going to be used as a lurk, and they're going to go back towards B, which means that they're going to walk into Jambo, potentially. Blame moves over and loses the fight to SDY.
That's a disaster.
That is a really big disaster because that's going to keep Crims in here, and they don't go B. They go out A main, and Poddy's leading the charge with his scope. Crims has to jiggle all these angles, and the wider he goes, the more he's incentivized to lose the fight to the AWP. So he has to remain in this corner, and he's locked in. They do. Nachu looks around for a second, and Crims yet again is put in a position where he needs to succeed, and he flourishes. Swaps to the USP. Pody can't line up the shot. Never mind. It's Crims again with the multi-kill to give fnatic something. And this will probably condition you to go in towards B, but Crims is pushing with his low HP. He's got upper B halls. He's ahead of this, and he can put fnatic on A.
And he can start to get the info. Can he get any kills on the backstab here? Absolutely. Glaive is going to be ripe for the taking. Despite his low health, he continues to find impact. Nachu gets one back, though. Jambo's AWP is going to be integral, but he can't get anything offered up to him. He may eventually, though he does. His patience pays off. Bomb plant's still going to come through. It's a man advantage for fnatic in this must-win retake. ex-Kaspersky making a play, phasing through that smoke. I don't know if Fear caught a glimpse of him or not, but he does now.
And now this is even more dicey. You got to just try and take dry fights. Nachu swings on Crims, finishes the job that his teammate started, but Pody's caught in the open. And then Jambo goes up and over the top onto default. We're not done yet. We need overtime. And Crims on the wide jiggle. Oh, now sees, and here's Nachu, and Nachu tries to force the fight, and it doesn't work. Crims is undeniable right now on train. But will they actually be able to stop this? Jambo out of position. So are the rest of the squad. You look at Matty's rotate. It's so late. They've got to play retake.
Oh, Kaspersky's creeping up so far right now. Crimson's going to be the one to pay with his life to get the information. The trade should come through immediately. It does, but Blame will die in turn afterwards. Wasn't clean enough, so he runs out of ammo, but trades are the name of the game. Matty's essentially offers himself up on a silver platter. Bomb's still not planted, by the way, and Poddy's out in the open.
Why
There's a flank coming through in the meantime. I don't know. They're waiting for some sort of further aggression, but there isn't any. And that's just giving Fear time on this flank. Poddy, he could be in deep trouble right now. They both could be. And there's the first frag found.
Why did they take so long? What were they waiting for? Maybe the AWP to swing and Glaive just completely fluffs his lines on Fear. Oh,
Matty's.
Oh, no way.
Again, there's always some sort of a prong for Fnatic, but this time, Glaive will quell the threat.
You've seen the bomb. So you can see immediately, look at these rotates. Blame F, Crims are just like, hang on a sec. We've seen this one before. Smoke off top pop as well will give even more leverage to Crims to get deeply embezzled into this site. And Fear might walk his own smoke. Thinks better of it. Crims now scales up the ladder. He is not tradable right now. Blame needs to come in and help him. Crims just swings and Nachu punishes. Finally, Ence got clean entries, but Blame is still on site. But it's ex-Aurora again trying to just slip the needle, and Blame hasn't seen him. So Jambo's life is at risk.
That was because of the flash, by the way, that blinds Blame up, and they're giving the time to SDY. I was wondering why they're still just posted ramp and not committing to the site, but it's because they were waiting for SDY. Blame F, it's now mission impossible for him. He's been blinded up again. Welcome back to the server, Ence. It's taken 7 rounds in a row, but they'll finally put one back of their own.
How did SDY get out of there then? I was too busy just watching ex-Aurora just sort of slip the net, getting towards Con. I was thinking, okay, he's going to be the guy that takes down Jambo. And then the Observer just cuts to SDY and he's just walking around Con. I'm thinking, hang on. They've got B 3 rounds in a row here. They barely touch B in reg. And look at this over the top. Look at the position from Crims. They don't really clear it, but Glaive gets the necessary trade. And now Jambo can come in on the line and immediately get him out of there. So it is a 4-on-3. It's one in which you feel like you shouldn't really be peeking the AWP. You don't really want to give Jambo too many opportunities because he will take every single one away from you. Pody left to his own devices. 1v4, but not for long. It's Matty's with the up and over, and it's Jambo with the slam dunk. Fnatic get onto 14. Rather than the continuation of the norm. But this time it's Pody that peaks. He does the Jambo peak and he gets rid of Fear early. An opening kill, and ex-Aurora always loved to take a main. And I was just on the outskirts of it with Glaive in close proximity. Pody's fallen back to a safer angle, but he's still holding heaven.
Very passive, very safe from Ence right now. Bit of a contrast from what we saw in the approach there from Fnatic on their CT side, but they were making moves. Collateral not taken, but it's still because a kill has been, and Poddy continues to frag. A very good third frag found from him. Blame F, last man left alive, shouldn't be for much longer. Does get a kill. Bomb is, I think, might be recoverable. But Kaspersky starts to close the door in on Blame F now.
Yeah, he's dead. If it's not from the AWP, it's from ex-Aurora, and he's even playing it so slowly to the point where he can just claim the kill as Blame goes back around the corner.
He is starting to head in this direction. It looks like Fnatic want to get a move on very early on in this round, and they're going to apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Nature just dropping counter util. Pody on the angle, though, is good. And now he can just tuck in. They have to go deep into this site to clear him, which means getting past his riflers. And Pody goes up and over. Flashbang, brilliant. And Crims takes the space off the back of it. Pody is still alive, but not for much longer. But ex-Aurora swings out through the smoke and finds 2 more. This round is not done just yet. With Jambo in an oil, he's got the timing to come round the corner and potentially backstab and ruins Ence chances at series point once more. There's the first and the second. Immediate decapitation from Jambo as Fnatic find a lifeline and series point on their map pick. The secondary sniper moves over. Poddy starts to make inroads in towards Ivy, but so do Matty's and Jambo. They're watching this.
This is going to define the outcome of the round, I reckon. And I think that might be enough. Glaive, does he decide to hang around? He's going to drop a deep smoke so he can try and backpedal and get out of dodge. Nade to break it open is going to result in Glaive going down. Crims finds a kill elsewhere. It's a 5v2 Fnatic on the brink of completing the comeback. And they've done it.
Wow.
They have finished off train 16-14 here in overtime to force a third. It slipped through their fingers from there, and as a result, we find ourselves on this third and final map to see who goes to the semis.
This is brilliant, by the way, because you've just taken up a B control, and then you got the jump spot out of Glaive, and Nachu says, thank you very much. That's an early kill, and now you can disengage. Glaive can now go and help out the long player, potentially. ex-Aurora is isolated, and fnatic actually have got good ground in towards short, but again, that's been spotted by SDY. Enter in the know.
Exactly, and it's taken time for Ence to actually formulate this decision, and that's what's given time to Ence to actually just reset themselves up and establish themselves in the round. That's a huge gunfight won up by Jambo. That could be round defining, because now Glaive has to worry about long, but he hasn't even turned and looked in that direction. That makes for a free frag for Jambo, and the round has been turned on its head.
Completely turned on its head, and again, it's individual efforts, and this is exactly what JRT was saying. It goes out the window immediately, because fundamentally, Ence had the perfect play there. They pushed tunnels, they get the jump spot, they get the opening kill, they set ex-Aurora up for success, and now suddenly you have to hit your headshots. Nachu starts off well. 2v3, bombs halfway gone. No defuse kit, no utility, and he's still got Jambo alive. Matty's in close range with the Glock, doesn't miss those. And suddenly Pody just has to go and escape, has to save and concede that pistol round to fnatic. No one's pushing them, which means Ence have got a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yes.
That long smoke is really not ideal, but at least Nachu's burning. Tag on the scout, that softens them up for the pistols, and Nachu just hits the headshot anyway, so it's redundant. Need to get these trades in. Blame F and Jambo try to alleviate some pressure, and then ex-Aurora tries to activate but gets caught by Fear and that scout. Time not on fnatic's side, and especially with SDY getting rid of Matty's.
Oh, that makes matters so much more difficult now for fnatic, because Jambo is the one who's going to have to try and get on the bomb side to actually plant the bomb. Kaspersky's still long as well, and he's kind of feigned as though he's rotated away. No one's looking this way for fnatic. Poddy is still in towards Gandalf as well. Jambo's going to force the fight, but there's no time anyway, and Ence have managed the force buy. As we said, they knew exactly what was coming their way. Strength in numbers. Just the death ball up short right now. Poddy has got an AWP, and he's behind Car, so he can't fade away back to long. He will be able to still anyway, though, get out of that position off the back of getting a kill, and he's happy to just give up the bomb site. Look at SDY, though. He's closing the door in on these players. He's slamming the door in on them. Casualties found, and that's a third as well for SDY. Devastates fnatic.
And then Glaive even just follows up. Oh, on train, all things considered, by his standards, by his high standards that we set for him. Go into lower, get a few kills, says Glaive. All right, yeah, sure. Oh, I feel amazing now. You won't feel great after that one. Jambo's just hit him in the face.
Exactly what fnatic needed to open up. Poddy's going to try and answer back with one of his own, and he gets offered up Crims for free. Oh, okay, cancels out Jambo's heroics. Crims has gone from awful game to phenomenal game back to a really tough time in the server right now, yeah. Only been a secret because he hasn't made his presence known on the server so far, man. Alright, well, Jambo does get another, and Matty's in the corner is never expected by Glaive, so he just pounces on a random timing. Jumps around the corner to see if he can bait anybody out. It's going to be SDY, but the spacing is perfect. Fear swings up beyond Matty's to get the trade, and Jambo will seal the deal. What a lot of impact coming through from his first round on the AWP.
Guess who is in towards short? It's the AWPer. It's Poddy, who's only died once in comparison. So you've got to have a good flashbang here. You can't dry swing the AWP. Or maybe you can. Matty's wide swings him, knocks his block off, but doesn't do a fatal blow.
Nice support flash being thrown deep beyond SDY there by Poddy. But there are still kills that continue to come through for the T side. That support flash is even better. That one's from Glaive. SDY does so much damage. Man advantage persists. The bomb, I think, is still on shore right now. It's a big miss there from Poddy. You can't afford to take this fight with the USP. He's just trying to get out of dodge, but he just shifts into the scope of Jambo. But Kaspersky will then trade. Blame F. This is where he does his best work because he has the information on both these remaining players.
So he can plant safe, and he also knows one AWP, one rifle. In fact, it's 2 rifles. And Blame wants a fight. He wants to smoke off short. He wants to try and bait Glaive to try and take a swing at him. Because if he can get one kill, suddenly he's opened up to a lot more space. There's pressure being applied. It's the break on the smoke, but it's the instant headshot. And then a spot of the pixel of the in-game leader. Low HP on Blame, but he's still trying to stand his ground. There is a clear on Glaive, but time now starts to become a little bit of an issue. Has to round the corner. Blame's played it perfectly, but still can't get by Glaive, and he's timed it to perfection.
Panicked at all, and it was just a really solid little bit of a 1v1 retake there from Glaive, never running into BlameF, but still forcing him around the box, reading the situation and getting the job done. However,
there he is again
from Jambo. Again.
Same round. It's the exact same round that got fnatic there first, and Fierce, let's do it again. Flashbang not good enough, and Blame just takes full advantage of it. Oh, and even follows through onto SDY. The round you felt was done and dusted after Jambo got these 2 kills. Well, how about maybe a third? Nachu offers up his life. Jambo kindly obliges. fnatic through the back of Jambo's back-to-back 3Ks. We'll get another round on the board. Crossroads. Because do you want, if you're fnatic, to keep fighting this guy? Or do you want to deviate? Fear's got a lot of space. Oh. And SDY actually punishes. BlameF follows through on Poddy. How the hell is he up long? Where's that come from? He goes for even more, but bites off a little bit more than he can chew. With ex-Kaspersky still low, it is in essence a 3v3, but Fear's hearing all the info.
And he has no reason to activate here either. No need to move a muscle. Can just remain in position. Gets fed a kill. Nachu will trade, and he's looking for the AK here to try and enable himself. I don't think the plan is to save. Yeah, he's going to upgrade to the AK and continue to just edge his way forward. If he can win out this fight with Matties, then there's every chance in the world. Okay. And he does exactly that. It's only Crims left remaining. He's yet to frag on the map. He's got 2 players left alive, and he won't get either. Is there a kit? There is one on Nachu, so time is not going to be a problem. He's mollied the bomb himself, but that's okay. He still finds a position to tuck himself in and get the defuse, and that's Ence answering back yet again.
Off angle, but he's isolated. So even if he takes contact, he's going to have trouble falling away. Glaive's now lining up a flashbang. And as soon as he takes contact, you imagine Poddy's going to swing, but Poddy's got to be really worried about long. When's his mind going to change? It's going to be about now with SDY. No one is out long for fnatic. It's Blame out towards the mid doors. Nachu and SDY still finding the kills. And remember, Poddy's still alive. And I don't think he's pulled the trigger on the AWP yet. SDY goes searching, but it's Matthews that's securing. And with this, a 3v2 formulating with Ence players nowhere near the bomb site. Surely this time it's a save. Not seen B once.
Yeah, true, actually. Almost every round, they've just paused their way up middle, up cat onto the B bombs, onto the A bomb site rather. Jambo taking a lot of picks to the flames, but it is going to be an attack in towards this B bomb site. Nachu's taking a lot of utility damage. He's going to try and jump up on the ledge, but that's a really bold approach. Maybe relying on the smoke nade. fnatic rely on the smoker to lock in the bomb site. Fierce found another kill elsewhere. That's in towards middle. That's going to draw all of Ence's attention, and surely no way back into the round here for them from here.
Oh, they got to go for it is the issue. And where you don't see anyone top mid, you have to be cognizant of the fact that Fear, oh well, he's announced his arrival.
He's giving it away. He doesn't care. Yeah.
And why would he, to be fair? Look, you got a scout, you got an open MP9 on this retake, and he's just smoked them off as well. Good luck getting back into this one. You feel like it is destined for fnatic to get this 5th round, so much as it's been all series long. Ence skyrocket into a lead, and then fnatic through gritted teeth.
Oh,
come on, mate.
He just got denied what could have been his first kill. But you're right, it did kind of feel like fnatic should be at least getting 5 from this first half.
Big fight brewing here and towards lower, and there's a lot of players here for fnatic, and Matties just catches both HEs, and between Nachu and Glaive, they've made that mid defense look easy.
Oh. Okay, Jambo, I was going to say maybe he could save the day, but he's only going to be good for the 1 kill, was never going to be able to get out of there.
Maybe it can be Crims.
Forced the fight upon him. It could be Crims or BlameF, more likely here in this situation. First tap is beautiful, second is right up to the same sort of standard. And does that just send Ence packing? Are they just going to be leaving BlameF altogether? They're on different pages. One's gone back, one is still fighting. This could play into the hands of fnatic. Crims has died and BlameF will as well. How have Ence won the round like that?
The MP9 of Blame can do a lot of damage to these players as they come out long.
And there's the first frag found. Can he get anything more is the question. No. SDY trades, but we still have these 3 players that have been tenderized. They're all 1 scoutable, but the scout is on the deck. At least Jambo's is. Nice kill from Poddy, posted on the angle. Takes down his counterpart. And look at the attention that's now drawn in towards the, say, bomb site. And that's exactly what Glaive has just read into.
Yeah, I mean, what a call this is. And you've still got ex-Kaspersky that's just waiting behind Xbox, and you still got the contact from SDY. He keeps anchoring these players in, but with Crims finding his first kill with Fear, dealing with SDY, it's a player advantage here for fnatic, and Cross, fortunately for Ence, is successful. Bomb down, they need a retake, fnatic.
At least they're somewhat in these positions early on. They don't have any utility to try and help them get back into the bomb site. So this is going to have to be a flood into this B bomb site right now. And Party Scout's certainly not going to be making matters any easier for Ence. And there we go, job done. As easy as you like. Crims finds both his first 2 kills here in this round. And fnatic, well, that's a massive reprieve for them by winning this force buy.
And it's only a 2-round game. I think that's what it felt like. It was always in control for Ence, and yet it's a 2-round game, and we could be even.
Exactly the same. I have the same sentiment that it's like, wait, it's only 8-6. It's only a 2-round game for Ence right now. Wait, BlameF has stepped forward. BlameF has stepped forward off of Jambo being forced backwards. I wasn't expecting that response. It's going to cost him his life. Crims is going to be turning his attention back into tunnels at the perfect time here. Kaspersky and Poddy, the ones who edge their way forward. A bit of an off angle for Crims. Slow to react there. He's not even going to get any damage. That's a problem because of how low his 2 teammates are. Or 2 of the 3. It looks like fnatic still want to feel this out, but I don't really see any way back into this bomb site from here for them.
No, I don't either. I feel like you got to save. You keep the Galil, you keep the AK, you get out of there. But no, they want to give it a good run for their money. Whereas Kaspersky says no at the first time of asking. Poddy just swings on Mattis from window, and Jambo, whilst he holds his spray, is only good for the first kill. That feels a bit needless and desperate for fnatic to throw all those weapons away. Look how patient this is.
You can trust the veteran. You can trust the veteran to have the discipline.
Oh, and he doesn't die. He jumps over the angle. So if there was a player close, now Mattis just slides in. Glaive can come back around the corner and trade. You assume that's a certainty. Glaive wants even more. And then realizes that's a little bit risky and shouldn't be playing those games. Kaspersky moves over in towards this box to hold the line for short. It will be a long finish. But it will be 2 players for Ence playing extremity, trying to catch out these lurks.
Oh man, there's been a lot of moving parts.
Oh, they're going back
right
B.
Now for Ence, they are. And this is because of the fact that they kept Nachu over on the side of the map, but Crims has now gotten that kill. That completely shakes things up. Kaspersky cuts the map down the middle with his frag. They know there's 1 tunnels. Will they expect Fear on short? He could be the next player that just springs into action at a moment's notice. Oh, he's compromised his position. Doesn't realize that there's still 1 in the tunnels. 12 seconds left though. Time is of the essence. Crims is in the corner. Nade to break the smoke open, but all of the players for fnatic are here, and they'll mop up Ence on the entry.
And yeah, look, Crims has got 4 kills. He's got 2 kills in back-to-back rounds. Finally, he started to get some. But his positioning in this round, the fact that he goes down in towards lower.
And the complexion of this map drastically shifts.
And this is Glaive calling fnatic's own call against them. They're running up short. Great nade, does a lot of damage to Nature. Jambo just gets out of dodge. He says, you know what, we can just play retake. Let's concede the site. Fear, full blind. How far do Ence want to swing into this? Well, not a lot, because they're stressed about the fact that they're receiving a lot of util in their face. Nature will just swing Fear, though. Give him the fight that Fear initially wanted, but Blame's getting the kills. Jambo's on 1 HP, but the lock-in from Glaive, you feel like it's potentially going to be enough, but Blame keeps firing back. 1 HP on 2 of these players for fnatic, yet it's Ence that are struggling to deal with this after plant. SDY hits another scout shot. Mattis fakes out the defuse. There's no kit. There's limited time, and Glaive now notices it. There's no way fnatic can win this round, and Ence will find double digits, and fnatic are back to square 1. You did that with awful weaponry. Let's just do it with better weaponry. Let's use the same confidence you had in that first half when you were running at fnatic, when you were taking control in these fights. Speaking of fights, here they come out long. Here goes Fizz 5-7. Oh, okay. No way. This is not happening again. This could still get weird. Look at this rotate. 3 players in mid. Fear drops his molly, but they're going to be ahead of it. So he needs to hold his nerve. Got the kills with the 5-7. Now needs to deliver with the rifle. Now he's got that upgrade. Or he can just tuck in the corner. Jambo can now come up trumps just from this little box, this little elevated position. Fear just trying to hold his nerve, but Poddy denies it. Worried about long, but then gets all the info. There's so many in CT, and Glaive on a swivel was dealt with short. Now you know that they're all there, but you can't find the kills anyway. SDY is now being pincered from all different angles, and BlameF seals the deal. This war of attrition continues to carry on. And now with this mid to B, Blame is potentially going to walk through this smoke. He's got Matty's in the window to be the coverage, but Nachu and Glaive have found success, but Jambo drops down. Crims, that final player on B, has provided enough of a lifeline, and that bomb has not yet crossed. It's a foot race to B. It's one in which, oh my gosh, Potty would just about win. The HP is exactly the same. It's the dodge of the flash, and it's the collection from SDY. I don't know anymore.
And Ence are now on the edge.
And they go, boys, they have no utility. They keep crunching upper tunnels. They're not going to do it again. We go B. We execute. And execute is what they're looking to do onto both Crims and Matty's, and they've done it. You feel like, finally, Ence are going to win this best of 3.
Well, this has just been carnage. Genuinely, that's the only word that comes to mind. This has been carnage. It's been a car crash that's been difficult to look away from, but that will be the end of it. Ence have finally gotten the job done. They held their nerve. They were pushed to the edge on train.